Let's talk about follicle count. So what is a follicle? A follicle is the unit in the ovary that surrounds the egg. Follicle is all of the thousands of cells around the egg that makes the fluid to sort of grow and nurture and support the egg. Essentially, one follicle equals one egg. When your doctor does an antral follicle count and counts the small resting follicles in the ovary, that is a very rough assessment of how your body might respond to fertility treatment and roughly how many eggs you might have retrieved in a fertility treatment cycle. Follicles are always coming and going. There are constant waves of follicles on their way in and on their way out. The ones that we can see on the ultrasound, some of them are on their way in and some of them are on their way out. I always say they're like a taxi cab. They have to have their light on in order to respond to medications. And follicles that don't have their lights on, that may already be on their way to dying, they will not respond to fertility treatment medications. So it's important to remember that the follicle count is never an exact estimate. First of all, it's going to be operator dependent. I might see one number one day and another doctor might see another doctor another day, but as long as they're roughly the same, it doesn't matter. Just because they see more doesn't mean they're going to get more in a treatment cycle. Everyone understandably wants to have a measure of control over their treatment. And I think that the way that often plays out is people get this very intense attachment to every single follicle. They're counting all of their follicles, they're keeping track of them, and if there's one more or one fewer on a given day, they get very attached to that number. It's important to remember that follicle number is a rough estimate. It's a gestalt, it's a range. You're gonna be somebody whose ovaries are capable of 5 to 8 in a cycle, or 9 to 12 in a cycle, or 14 to 18, it's a range, it's not exact. Remember that not every egg is viable, and non-viable eggs can declare themselves at any step in the process. So you know that when you get eggs out, not everyone is going to make an embryo. Well, also, not every follicle is going to yield an egg. If an egg is delicate, sticky, unhealthy, not viable, it may simply not separate from the wall of the follicle and come out. Eggs are microscopic. I can't see the egg. I'm not putting a tweezer into your follicle and plucking out something that I can see. An egg retrieval is almost a blind procedure. The needle goes blindly into a follicle, which is a fluid-filled sac, and sucks all of the fluid out. It's up to that follicle to have the egg separate from the wall and come out into the needle. So it's important to let go a little bit of the constant counting. The treatment is a whole. The treatment is a process. It is not about every single follicle that you have in your ovary. Focus your efforts on trying to have a good treatment in general, and don't count your success on the gain or loss of one growing follicle or one egg.